her name was, hold on, where's her name? Jones Smith. Jones Smith was her name. And her handle was For Arguments. So FOR Arguments on Twitter. And she was known, this woman, Jones Smith, for clapping back for anybody who would go after NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Oh, they were related?
Yeah. It turns out that Jones Smith was actually dressed up in a costume. It's really Roger Goodell's wife.
Whoa. You know what? That's a ride or die, though. Honestly, that's a ride or die. If my man made up a fake account to come defend me to haters, I gotta say, I love him. I gotta say, I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, so actually,
that's a treat.
Oh, so Mrs. Goodell is actually, in your opinion, she's out there treating for her husband.
Think the concept of a partner that would create a fake account to defend you is a treat. Now, what did she say?
Well, so the account tweeted 14 times from August of this year until the Wall Street Journal outed her as the owner, and then the account disappeared.
Well, what did she say? Did she say anything?
She would say stuff like, to reporters, you need to get better facts before you report certain stories. She would defend her husband, and she also, at one time, was an on-air personality on Fox News. So she has media experience, too. So she was going after other journalists under this fake name of handle @for argument. And she just goes, she's quoted saying, it was a really silly thing to do, but done out of frustration and love.
That's love, man. Give me a husband that'll do that for me any day. That's a treat.
So Kevin Durant, tricking or treating, Mrs. Goodell, tricking or treating.
So Kevin Durant, that's a treat. Again, I love that he didn't take it back. He didn't say he regrets doing it. He's just like, yeah.
So you listen carefully, because he actually didn't apologize.
He didn't apologize
for having
doing
the account.
No.
Or he just said, he called out people in a way that could have been more responsible.
Exactly. He could have been a little bit more responsible with his words, but he wasn't regretting the fact of defending himself by creating alter ego accounts. And you know what? I think it's cool. And I definitely think he more than redeems himself, because the way that he interacts with his fans, Kevin Durant, there's a reason he's your favorite player, not only because of his skills on the ball court, but who he is as a person. And I just think that he's dope, and pretty much anything he does is a treat.
Very cool. Now, if you were going to dress up online for Halloween and open a fake Twitter account, what would be your name? Because, when you're a Twitter account, you get to have a name plus a handle.
Yeah.
So in this case, Roger Goodell's wife's handle was @for argument, and her name was Jones Smith. What would be your Halloween online costume, name, and handle?
So I think I would do my name. My handle would be, my name would be Cameron Styles.
Okay.
And my handle would be Clapbacks by Cam. And I would have an alter ego that comebacks at people that say things I disagree with in
Lions,
Cameron rap
tigers,
lyrics.
Bears.
Because Cam's real name is Cameron Giles. So Cam Styles.
You've thought through this.
I literally just came to me because I'm like, no, that would be something I would do. Because there's a Cam clapback or rap lyric for any situation.
For this segment.
Love him.
So your name is Cameron Styles.
Cameron Styles.
And is your handle too long? I think, don't you only get 17 characters?
Cam Clapbacks by Cam.
That'll fit?
Cam Claps Back.
Okay. All right.
Cam Claps Back.
Got it. Asha Davis defending Cameron.
No, not defending Cameron. Just responding to anything that I disagree with. So if somebody is talking about, Trump comes out and says something, or this guy, the owner of the Houston Texans, makes his comment, then I would have a Twitter handle that responds to ignorance like that, in the words of Cameron.
With lions, tigers, and bears. Okay.
We keep them boosters boosting. We keep them shooters shoots. All right, let's go. What would yours be? This Harlem. I know there's people listening that are like, that's pretty cool.
Shout out to Harlem World and to all the Cam fans. Obviously, there's been some awesome hip hop that has come out of. And I'm a big fan of Dipset, so let me not act like I'm
exactly.
a Cam
They're going
hater.
on tour. Dipset got back together, and they're going on tour with the ASAP Mob now.
Dipset. Let me just not act like he's in my top 5, though. You know, I'm just.
Cam is in my top. Yeah, I like Cam. I love Cam, actually.
All right.
Anyways, who was yours?
Mine would be, and Cam, if you're listening, 212-650-6903, because you probably have Tim's, a hoodie, and a good job.
He does.
So, holla at
Shout out
Davis.
to his lovely, beautiful girlfriend/wife, who I am also a big fan of.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know he was mad. I take that back. I didn't know. If I had known that, hey, I'm not trying to bring up any happy
I'm
home.
just a fan.
Neither is she. So my bad. I didn't know. Remember, news and culture. I didn't put the pop in it.
Right.
So I didn't.
You
I didn't
gotta,
know.
yeah.
All right. So my online Twitter name and handle would be Tyrone Luke Cage. Tyrone Cage.
Tyrone Cage.
Yeah, yes. Because
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the Luke Cage
Yeah.
series that came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the whole lot, like Tyrone Cage. And my handle would be at Petty Ish.
Okay.
At Petty _ish.
Okay. So
Because I would come back and just be like, sometimes you know how you just want to go low. You know, Michelle Obama says when they go high, we go. When they go low, we go high.
Yeah.
My handle would be for when they go low, I feel like going low. So I'd be Tyrone Cage out there going and literally getting all the folks who've been going low, and I go get them.
So basically what you're saying is that your alter ego online would be pretty much opposite to you in a lot of different ways. Like Tyrone Cage sounds like the opposite name of Gregory Nesmith. Like, you know what I mean? And you're probably one of the least petty people that I know, just like in real life, like
Yes,
how
I am.
chill you are. So the fact that you would have a handle that specializes in petty is quite fascinating to me. I feel like I've learned so much about you today.
Yes. And that is a great comment to make, which is if you want to clap back in Cam style, you actually get to do that and try it on whenever you feel like it. And you can do it from your current handle, which I believe is at Asha Destiny, for those who want to follow you on Instagram or on Twitter. And for me, if there's times where I feel like being petty, which I'm human, it happens. Sometimes it's actually called for to go low every now and then bring it back up. That I get to do that when the moment calls for it too, and I don't have to create a new handle for it.
Sometimes, are you saying sometimes it's okay to play a little limbo with them?
Every now and then. The key is don't stay there too long and know that you've done it intentionally and chosen to, as opposed to being reactionary. Because that's how people get in trouble, when they actually do stuff in reaction and aren't totally thinking. But you can be aware. Sometimes people yell for effect as opposed to yell out of reaction.
So go low, but don't let the bar hit you on the way down?
Hey, don't. Or the way up. Either way.
Either way.
Yes. So with that, underdogs out there, let us know what would be your online handle and name if you came up with a fake Twitter account for Halloween. Because we don't want you to do it all year. Like, we don't want you to be Joan Smith out here for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Just only on Halloween and maybe on April Fool's. That's it.
You know what? I'm going to say they could be whoever they want to be anytime, because it's almost 2018 and we are free.
That is true. But the only time you should create a fake account is if you're a spy or your FBI informant.
Or if you love your partner and you want to defend them anonymously.
Yeah. Don't create a fake account so they can't see what you're doing, but you're doing something on their behalf. Yes. With that, we're going to take a quick break and more of today's episode, Who's Trickin'?
And Who's Treatin'?
After this quick break. Welcome back to the Gregory Nesmith Show, where we get personal about the news and the culture. Shout out to the underdogs and my people and the occasional Trump supporter. We appreciate all of you. In today's episode, who's tricking?
And who's treating?
We've been talking about it. There's been a lot of tricking going on today.
A lot of tricking and some social media tricking too.
Yes, indeed. But now we know you're going to be clapping back at people in Camuous style.
Yeah, Cam Linguistics. I'll offer a course, actually. I should do that. Daryl responded to our comment, and he said his alter ego social media handle would be @FakeFoxNews.
Ooh, look at Daryl taking on the Fair and Balanced, which is their tagline, Fox News organization. Okay, I appreciate that.
That's a community service. I think you should do that now.
Yes, and actually, what Daryl reminds me of, just an offer for underdogs out there is go out and enjoy, well, not even enjoy, but take in some media from places that you normally don't, just so you can keep a well-rounded perspective. So if you like watching MSNBC all the time, spend a few minutes on Fox News.
Yeah, exactly.
If you love the Wall Street Journal, spend some time with the New York Times every now and then. It's good to just be aware of what's going on holistically and not get caught up in your bubble of only people who may think and report like you do.
I agree.
All right, cool. Now, we're going to do a quick rundown of some stories that happened either in the last week or even happened in this month of who was tricking and treating in the month of October.
Yeah, that's good.
First news story that happened this week. And we're going to discuss whether it's a trick or a treat, which is it was announced that Colin Kaepernick has a book deal, which I believe is reported for around $1 million something, that he's going to be coming out with a book. Is that a trick or a treat?
I think it's a treat. I think it's a treat. I like that, for those who don't know, I know we spent some time talking about football earlier, but for those who don't know, basically Colin Kaepernick also announced that he's going to be suing the league for collusion. And it's funny because, well, not funny, haha, but peculiar, because what's interesting is that actually one of our Facebook Live viewers made a comment. We've been asking people to talk about what's going on because obviously, Gregory hasn't been watching football. We're here for the show. And someone mentioned, the 49ers, which is Kaepernick's former team, they are not doing so great right now. And there's been a lot of injuries, and basically the person that's even playing on that team right now is not as good as Kaepernick. And so there's all these different sort of nuances that are happening. And I think that it would be really awesome to kind of see his side of the story. And I think that we should all support him in his endeavors because he's really put his money where his mouth is. He's really sacrificed. And, again, we talked about maybe doing a show in the future that talks about when is it time to walk away.
Yeah.
And even if he does get another sort of contract in the league or something like that, I think that story from that perspective would be a treat.
Yeah, and we talked about degree of difficulty when we were talking about Jeff Flake saying something about Trump and being like, it's good, but the degree of difficulty is low because he's always been someone been against Trump. In this case, I believe high degree of difficulty for Colin Kaepernick because there was a lot at risk, and we've actually see it play out that literally what was risked is his ability to play, be signed under contract and compensated for the thing that he has been doing professionally for the past 5-6 years. And it's, a big deal when someone does something that actually costs them their job.
Exactly.
And so for me, I actually consider this a trick.
Oh.
But let me explain why. Like, yes, I'm all for him coming out with the book, but to me, it's another example of like, man, I think it's the owners have spoken, and it's almost as if filing the grievance, like, let me do the book deal, like he's moved on, and that the chances of playing football again are like not going to happen. And so for me, I'm sad by that because I don't like the narrative of what comes out of someone taking a stand like he did peacefully and legally and for a good cause. Like what happens is like, yeah, you lose your job. And so that for me is why I call it a trick, only because it's now made it hit home for me like, yeah, he's moving on.
I disagree. I think that I'm still optimistic, and I think it's a treat that we'll get to hear his perspective and that he gets to make some money off it.
Yes, I do agree with that. Name and where you calling from.
Hi, I'm very disappointed in you today, Gregory. I mean, this is Deborah.
Yep.
So he doesn't play anymore. What if he were not to play anymore? I mean, this could be a stepping stone. Nobody knows what his life is supposed to be like in full. Sometimes when people, all right, the team isn't doing well, they're pulling people out of nowhere, people who have retired. Fine. If they break up in little pieces, who cares? He wanted to play. He asked to play, and everybody kept saying, no, 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 no. Well, you know what? Maybe in the long run they'll be sorry that they didn't let him play, because maybe he'll do something even greater than football.
And that I do agree with. And I think what you're hearing from me, Deborah, is that there's just a certain frustration, and I think both you and I should, I think, kind of get where I'm coming from. It's just that I hate that when when someone does something where we know they're on the right side of stuff, that this is one of the consequences of it. And to your point, he's going to go on to do great things. He's inspiring a lot of people. But I just hate that this is one of the consequences of it. I just don't like that being part of what happened.
But you know what? He might be. This might be something really, really. This might be even better, because it's like if somebody owns something and it's theirs, and somebody just keeps telling you no, 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 and they don't want you to do it. Then a lot of young people are looking at this. So if you don't want to play with me, fine. Go play with yourself. I'll find something else to do.
No, I think I hear what you're saying with Asha. It's like this is also an opportunity for, at least for me, to get to come to grips with. Sometimes you just got to walk away. And on top of that, to your point, he's already done great things, and I think he's going to continue to do great things.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this could be, if you think this book that's coming out might be something, just think about, something else that he might do. I'm not certain of who the person is right at this moment, so I don't want to put it out there. But there was someone years ago that I had read about who wanted to be, in sports, and they didn't want him to be. And he went on to do some really great things. People don't always think that he did great things, because it wasn't what, this country thinks that it should have been. But he stood on his principle, and he did something that was really great. When I find out, and I know for certain, then I'll tell you. But I just think that this is something that, will go so far. You never know. He might have his own team one day.
No, I hear you. So I'm going to let what you said and what I said, I'm going to let that sink in. And
take care, Asha. I didn't mean to ignore you before.
No. Didn't feel that way. Thanks so much for calling, Deborah.
Okay, bye.
All right, Deborah.
And it seems like we have another person that agrees, because going to our Facebook Live comments, Daryl actually says that while he hears what you're saying, Greg, at the end of the day, if Colin Kaepernick wins his collusion claim and the owners have to pay him the $45 million, that's going to be quite the treat.
It will. And given how generous he's been with the money that he has and the things he's done in the community, that just means that'll be even more to fuel some of the stuff he wants to do in the world, and also take care of himself and his family. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to let it sink in.
Let it.
I am. And like I said, I want to talk in some future shows about when we are underdogs faced with should we stay or should we go, mm-hmm. and what to do in those situations. Mm-hmm. So, as always, Deborah, thanks for chiming in. Also, Daryl, and all the underdogs today who
Thank you, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. Man, it was awesome. So, with that, we've come to the end of the show.
No, we have not.
Oh, sorry. We're coming to the finale, the wind down.
Listen, stop trying to gloss over Uninhibited. We got 4 minutes left, and we don't have time for the banter.
We're 3, because we have to do like a close.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in, because I like how you're like, we're done the show. Wait a minute.
This part of the big finish.
Okay. Are you done with your crescendo? You know what a crescendo is. Okay. I'm not the only music major.
You're circumlocution.
Circumlocution. Okay, so today's uninhibited question, I'm going to jump right into it. We've been talking about tricks. We've been talking about treats. We've been talking about getting dressed up. So, Gregory, have you ever had a situation where a costume was worn for you as a treat outside of Halloween? And if so, what was that costume?
Yes. Makes me smile just thinking about that.
Ooh, you answered that very quickly. Please go on.
She had on a nurse's outfit.
Oh.
Yes. Like, when you think about when you're having a good day, when, you know, like somebody's like, oh, how was your day? And you don't have time to give them the details, but you're just like, yo, fantastic.
So let's elaborate. I'm going to use my 90 seconds. So a nurse's outfit, are we talking the white little mini dress thing with the hat, or what kind of nurse was she? Or was she in the scrub? I'm guessing it wasn't the scrubs, but tell me.
No scrubs.
Because some real nurses.
So like the hat, the outfit was definitely, you know, like a skirt. And nurses don't really wear those, but it was
well above her knees. We'll say that much.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Well, did she have the little garters on?
She was. Yes.
Did she have on stilettos?
Oh,
I think we have a caller.
y'all gonna stop with the name where you calling from. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, name where you calling from.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I'm sorry. I call a friend of mine.
Hey, no problem, man. You take care. Have a good Sunday.
That was definitely a plant by Gregory to change the subject.
Yes.
Oh, we had a caller. Oh, man.
Well, time to go.
Wrong number. Okay, so the answer to today's uninhibited question is yes.
Yes.
Our beautiful host, Gregory Nesmith, has had someone wear a costume for him as a treat outside of Halloween, and it was a sexy nurse costume.
I was well taken care of.
And he was well taken care of,
Yeah,
even though she was wearing something that no nurse could possibly wear in a hospital.
But the spirit of how nurses make sure we're cared for
was there.
Yes.
And so ladies, if you are trying to make Gregory Nesmith feel good, all it takes is a 50% off nurse's costume the day after Halloween. Go ahead.
Make it happen. With that, shout out to the underdogs, to my people, and the occasional Trump supporter. You were in the right place to get personal about the news and the culture. And today's episode was Trickin or Treatin. But for those who didn't catch the live show, and that will be listening to the podcast, it'll be titled Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
And shout out to all of you who made the podcast in the top 100 in society and culture out of thousands of podcasts, all because of you. Live show Sundays, podcast Mondays. And with that, thank you to everyone who called in and who jumped in on the Facebook Live too. And I'll leave you with my favorite quote. Underdogs, can't nobody do it like you do it. Nobody. Peace.